Good day, traders. Hoping that everybody's doing well today. We did try and stream, which didn't really end well. It looks like the software we are using is not really working for us. So if anybody can suggest a good platform to use, give us a shout and then we will definitely check it out. I'll stream with YouTube. Of course, we've been using OBS, but it looks like it's not working for us. We will try another platform. So just moving forward, I'm just going to give you guys a bit of analysis here. I am going to look at 4 pairs to be exact, and then take it from there. So I'll basically be asking you guys in the group which pairs you want me to look at. Okay, so starting with yesterday's analysis, we did 4 on the live stream, and then these are the it's just 12 that we did on the Bootcamp premium VIP signals. And I'm just going to share something with you guys. So with this specific pair or CAD, we both know it came in. I'm just going to scroll all the way down into a 5-minute chart just to give you guys a shout, or rather a bit of an overview of how it actually works out. So we had the setup on the lower time frame, and if you guys watched our how to take our trades video, you will see why we always put our buy stops after price gets 50% in the stop loss range. It's for such situations. So if you had a limit order, you would be out of the trade because it just did that and left you guys. But now if you're using our entry setups, then you're not going to be able to get into this trade. Or if we're using the wushu. Now I'm going to show you an example of where the whoosh and the speed and accuracy actually worked out for us. I know we lost 2 trades yesterday, 0.5, but we also had a 4R. So this is the beauty about using your system, is that you don't really need a great RR to be profitable. You just need to stack up the odds with you. So with this gold setup, which we did on Wednesday, you will see how price basically came into a zone. This was a brilliant setup, by the way. But now if you were using the wushu, then you would have probably been triggered here. And I'll just give you guys a heads up of how it worked out. And once triggered into the position here, you would basically hit your, I think it's 4-3R here, and basically came back to break even on the partials that you left. And if you did go for a second setup, you would have broke even. And then most of you basically saw only this one here, because it actually came into the stop loss range. And in this is literally 5, 10, 15, 30, and then we get just over an hour. Price came in, and then buy stops were set up here, and then you basically lost the trade. But then again, those that actually saw this move here, I'm just gonna go back into the 1 minute just to break it down for you guys even further. And this is very few people that saw this, by the way. So those that actually missed this opportunity here, saw price break through the stop loss range, and then they kept their buy stops. And then when price initially came back, it basically triggered all their positions, and then continued up hitting around 5R, and then coming back down to break even on the partials, and then left from there. So this is why we literally love using momentum. There's a typical example of why, because now once price comes back into your direction with a very nice tight stop, and you are using the wushu, of course, then you have a big advantage due to the fact that now prices triggers your setup, goes into break even within a couple of minutes, goes into 2R, 3R, 5R, and then your whoosh will just basically be partially you and stacking up the profits. But now if you're trading this manually to naked eye, you would have caught a few of this and wouldn't have really taken advantage of it that much. So that's the beauty of the wushu and our trading system. And then moving forward, let's just take a look at what we have today and see if we can't take advantage. I know that one of our bootcamp guys that was in the chat asked for us to look at Euro USD and gold. So we'll take a look at those for now, starting with gold, of course. So gold is already in our range on the bigger time frame. This is the setup that we looked at initially. It is already in our stop loss range. I don't know if any of you got triggered here, because if you did, then you definitely hit your stop. And yeah, that's a bummer, but this one is still valid. I'm still for it. We'll basically have a buy stop, and then basically take a look at where price is gonna go from here. So this is still valid. You can leave that as is. And then moving forward, Euro USD all the way at the bottom. Euro USD. Let's take a look at how the daily is looking first, and then take it from there. Okay. So on the daily, we are still in the range. I'm actually not seeing anything happening with it. I'm just seeing this nice range here that we will definitely wait for. We'll wait for price to get out of, and then take it from there. Now with this one here, the 4 hour, we're also not getting clean price action, not getting clean structure, which is not what we usually love trading. We always want to get into the midst of things when price is behaving. But now you could probably find something decent in this region here, and doesn't probably be on the 15-minute, if not lower. Yep. So what we can focus on it is this zone over here, and because we're looking at 15-minute candles, you should be careful at what time you're actually watching this video. And so about that, and where price is. So you should be very careful. Unlike when you're using the 1 hour, where price can come and trigger your setup in a couple of days. Okay, so this is what we have on the 15 on Euro USD, and it'll look something. It's a very tight stop, by the way, extremely tight stop. 1.1. So now you need to be either with FTMO or other brokers that are giving you some very tight spreads. You can check our broker. We have some nice spreads over there. Just read the description below. There we go. So setup would look something like this. And like I said, there's a very tight spreads. So you either scalping here, or you have a very decent broker. So that's how to approach Euro USD. Okay, and then moving forward, I'm going to analyze, let's look at the DJI, or actually let's just look at AUD USD, and then from there we'll look at 2 more pairs, and then we are good to go. Okay, AUD USD, we do have something decent happening here, which is a typical liquidity over here at the bottom. So we do know that if we actually do focus on this specific candle here, will be why I pick those candle, why I pick that candle. It's something you'll definitely learn in the bootcamp. And for those that have been with us, they definitely know why. So you already have a buy stop set up. Also tight stop, but you'll be able to manage that. This is how I'd approach this specific one. And then we'd have an entry there, and our stop loss there. Awesome. Let me just save the gold as well. So we're basically giving gold a second try here. On this buy. So I'm just keep it like that. And then this is a loss. Actually, no, it's not a loss, it's a win. Sorry about that. Just gonna keep it there. Why am I jinxing myself? Expecting losses. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And then moving forward, let's take a look at ECAD. That's something I haven't looked at in a minute as well, in detail. And let's see how it looks. I think this is the last pair that we're looking at. Okay, the hourly is not really giving us much to work with, because we had this massive tank with a whole lot of imbalances along the way. The 4 hour. Okay, this did not trigger, so I'm just going to remove that. And also this one did not trigger. Just going to remove that as well. Because we'll have a clean chart here. Okay, so on the 4 hour, what we'll be waiting for here is for price to drop below this region here, or to basically go above this one. And once it does, we will basically be looking at entry wherever it turns. So for example, if it does continue up from here, we'll basically be looking for area of interest here. Or if it does actually drop down, we'll still be looking for the area of interest there, and see how it comes back to collect some orders and drop from there. But meanwhile, there's nothing happening here. And then EA has left a whole lot of imbalances here, a whole lot of them. A sell stop was triggered here, but you can see that it did not play out well. Just gonna drop on to the lower time frame. So some of you could have been triggered here. This is very tight, so there's a high chance that you did get triggered, and of course had a stop loss. So that's a bummer. And then just moving forward with that, we know that this is definitely out. I'm going to mark this as a loss because of that as well, just to be on the safe side for tomorrow when we analyze this pair and see what has been happening. There we go. Okay, so moving forward on the 15, I do see something happening in this time frame. But remember, with 15-minute time frames, you're going to get some very tight stops. So we're going to leave that out for now. So see how the 4 hour looks. Hop onto the daily. And there's actually not much happening here. So on the daily, we could be looking at this region here as a nice entry point for a sell, but I'm not really confident about it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for now until something actually does confirm that, you know what, that's a nice decent setup to work with. So it's gonna look something like this. So I am gonna be watching it for a bit, just to have clarity and see how I can take advantage of that. There we go. So that's how the EA would look. Need to grab myself some coffee for the morning. Okay, and that's about it for the day. Those are the only pairs I could analyze for you guys. So happy trading, manage your risk well. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a nice stream, and we can drop your specific pairs that you want to look at. Happy trading, fellas.